As the creative potential stops going down with the sexual impulse and starts to go up with the erotic impulse, life changes in the most wonderful way. It needs to be studied attentively, especially you need to get the motivation, the enthusiasm to practice. And what we noticed is that people that come for a one-timer or a two-timer, only, let's say, 1%, 5% maybe of the people that heard it once will practice seriously. Some exceptional people, I see them after 3-4 years, they said, yeah, I was in one of your workshops, you gave these 3 techniques, I do them every day for 3 years, I'm not ejaculating, I'm having amazing orgasms. For most people, it would require coming to the course and having a weekly impulse. For 6 weeks, for 10 weeks, for a year, for 2 years, and just coming there and getting again enthusiasm, aspiration, strength, coming with your questions and practice, having that attuned. So the best way would be to join the Tantra course and get actual teachings, inspirations, community, have your place to ask questions, because it's a very big shift. When you move from sexual going down life into erotic going up life through the erotic potential, it's a very big shift. But in essence, there are many Hatha Yoga techniques, Uddiyana Bandha as we mentioned, the shoulder stand, headstand and so forth, but have a yoga teacher to guide you when you do it, A, so you don't hurt yourself, and B, so that you understand how to do the particular focus, which it doesn't go. You cannot have your mind going in all directions and stay in the posture and do I don't know what contractions and expect it to work. You need to learn how to focus and how to meditate and the particular energy currents and so forth while you are in those positions. But indeed, it's a wonderful quest. If you have the aspiration to do it, it's wonderful. It's life-changing. It changes way beyond your couple relationship. It changes your view of life. As the creative potential stops going down with the sexual impulse and starts to go up with the erotic impulse, life changes in the most wonderful way. It's not just retention, like externally it looks like retention, but it is more a recycling. You use it. There were experiments done in the Gita ashram where after doing certain techniques for resorption, the techniques which are described in the Shiva Samhita, after doing those techniques and they were put to ejaculate, they ejaculate almost nothing. There's almost nothing there, and hundreds and thousands of guys in our schools all over the world already for 30 years, they all report. You go, you make love, maybe you have your testicles a bit inflated after and you feel some frustrations, maybe this famous blue balls phenomena and so forth. You do these set of exercises and you look at your testicles after and definitely the fluid has been resorbed and you don't feel any pain and the color is back to normal, whatever your color is there. And it's not just that you hold it forcefully, but rather that you use it. And it's very, very feelable. So I had the biggest skeptics, or big enough skeptics, maybe they're bigger skeptics than them in class, but with the enthusiasm of the class, they went home and practiced, and they said, I didn't believe. Not at all, I would believe you that it worked, but yeah, it did. When I do this, my testicles are like that, the fluids are resorbed. Next time I come to make love, I can go on much longer, I have better control, my mood is better, my energy is better. Yes, so it's not a retention, but a resorption, a recycling, reusing, uplifting, sublimation of the semen. In Taoism, the emphasis is very much on the mixing of fire and water, which creates an alchemy which, at least in the Taoist schools that are alive today, is very much related to health, to personal power, and somehow scraping some spiritual states. In Tantra, the whole experience has a huge emphasis on love. Yeah? The tantric texts, they are filled with love. And that particular, those particular fluids can be transformed into a very ecstatic love, an emerging love. Yeah, Taoism is very much focused on balance, on health. You create this yin-yang balance and you have this wonderful balance. And inside that perfect balance you find silence and so forth. Whereas in Tantra there is a huge emphasis on love, on intensity, and on rising through this ecstatic, loving intensity to enlightenment. So there are some nuances which are different, but what is the same in both traditions is that yes, you hold the sexual fluids in and you transform them into spiritual energy, just in, let's say, different directions. It is not recommended to ejaculate if you want to follow seriously the spiritual path. The particular energy that goes through our sexual fluids can be harnessed into a very special spiritual energy called ojas. And that serves, let's say, as the engine of spiritual growth. And to quote the tantric master Vimalananda, we normally have 3.5 drops of ojas. And if we want to attain spiritual accomplishments, we need to get to 100 drops. And for this, to understand, it's a state of tremendous vividness. To attain the high states of Tantra, if you look at our teachers, the amount of life that they have in them, and they can go on 3 days, 1 week without sleeping, and not without sleeping and being tired, just being radiant like a newborn baby and more. So this degree of vividness which is required for the high levels of Tantra implies a continuous reharnessing, recycling of these very, very potent sexual fluids. So for this, it is recommended, it's wonderful that you do Uddiyana Bandha. It's recommended to do a lot of Uddiyana Bandha and shoulder stand and other techniques that resorb or recycle that energy. And then also the wish to, I don't know what, masturbate or all that would dissolve. And also you will not waste that energy. Every day we receive this gift of a fresh load of erotic fluids, and that fluids can only be contained for a while in that container, and then we will lose them. So we need every day to put them in a deeper container, to lift them, to sublime them, and to use them for spiritual purposes. This would be the tantric approach concerning the fluids. If this is what you want, if you want very much to grow spiritually, then it's like you have a hole in the gas tank. If you want to reach Rome and your car has a hole in the gas tank, it would be very difficult. Even if you get your periodic gasoline,
especially from Thailand.
Yeah, it would be very, very difficult like that. So first you got to fix that by just basically you ejaculate for having a child. Aside from that, you just don't, if you are on the spiritual path of Tantra.
We have a bunch of good books on our infamous book list. You can find it on tantrayogathailand.com. We have a blog, also there's a bunch of good articles on the subject. You can find the articles called Riding the Tiger.
There's a few articles, yeah.
And then we have good reads and movies, and that has a bunch of books that you can read on the subject.
Yeah, or join the Tantra course, which will start, and we'll give 5 different classes, one after the other, about how to do it properly.
That is right. Masturbation is, in general, not something very much recommended in Tantra. There is something about, for example, massaging your yoni in order to free up certain energetic blockages and so forth. That can be something very wonderful to do. Training your yoni in one way or another, doing so-called sexercises, which should be called erotic exercises or something like that, that can be very wonderful to do, but not in the sense of, oh, I need some pleasure, let me masturbate a little. It loses the whole sense of erotic engagement, which is that you unify with your beloved. So definitely sublimation helps if you consider to be abstinent in the big sense of the word. Do active abstinence, where you sublime sufficiently. We're talking about a few hours of yoga every day, a lot of creativity and a dynamic lifestyle in order to integrate these energies into your being. And then, of course, prepare yourself for a wonderful love relationship so you can attract one into your life, because that is also very possible through the tantric means, by clearing out our psyche, our energetic levels, opening our hearts. We can become very much ready for an amazing couple relationship in which you can enjoy all the erotic engagements. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on spirituality, tantra and more.
And if you want to sign up for our online classes or for our retreats, you can see our website on the description below.